I'm Nicholas Fryer. I am representing Winona State University, and I'm a senior, and I'm majoring in political science and public administration, so yeah. The most public problem for me is democracy, honestly, is because I feel like we need to do everything we can to do bridge building across the differences right now, because what we are seeing is divisive politics happening. We are seeing, people are not listening to each other about different perspectives, and they are kind of entrenched in their own positions. And I believe in the model of inclusive politics. And inclusive politics is about lifting up everyone and leaving no one behind. And as well, with inclusive politics, part of that is being a listener. And being a listener is being inclusive because you are hearing another person's voice. And we need more listeners, not talkers, in the world. And when you listen, you can learn from people's different experiences about how they view government, how they view how policies are impacting them, directly. And part of that, of my work with democracy is I've done voter registration drives. I have done candidate forums, making sure that people understand who is running for office from the very local levels, such as city council, judges, and as well as the top of the ticket, the federal offices, people running for Congress. And then I had the opportunity of moderating a conversation with Governor Walz back in fall 2023. And he and I talked with student leaders about ways to create change on campus at Winona State University. And after that, we saw ripple effects of change happen. We saw Winona State students rising up to demand, action for the Plan B pills to be more accessible on campus. And we also have seen, students advocate for more inclusive courses at Winona State, such as, ethnic studies, Native American studies, Asian American studies, all those kinds of sorts of things. And yeah. My ideal world looks like a world where we all feel that we're treated fairly and equal, and that we have respect for each other, and a world where everyone has the right to live in their own, rights, like their own lifestyles. They should be able to freely have those decisions. And I also believe we need a world where it's more inclusive too. I'm a big believer in inclusion. I'm someone who, I'm a people person. So I think we just need more of that right now, especially after, what we've been seeing, across the country, in this election cycle. We've seen a lot of, just fighting with each other, and we need to be more, better with each other, and be more, we just need to be more respectful of each other. So, and I think another, with the ideal world I want a world that is, about strengthening democracy, making sure that people are, fulfilling the civic duty, by voting or volunteering, because a lot of people don't know that part of civic engagement is volunteering. And you can make volunteering fun. You can be like, after we volunteer, we'll go out to get a bite, after doing something that really impacts and helps local communities. So yeah, that's my ideal world. So I think this experience has meant a lot to me. I had no idea of how this conference was going to go, and so far I've been meeting so many amazing people who are doing such amazing work across the country, and it feels really good to, see what other people are doing at the universities, how they're making change at the university. And I also believe in, in having an open mind. And actually, yesterday from this conference, I actually got inspiration of what I'm going to do for my mini grant. So I had no idea before what I was going to do for my mini grant, and with the mental health keynote speaker that we had, and I drew inspiration from it. So I'm excited to do a grant possibly on mental health policy and legislation. So this conference is really benefiting me personally, but also it's just like I am gaining such a set of connections, of people that are my age, part of my generation. So, yeah.